Hi there, I'm Claire from Claire Chancellor Coaching. Today what I want to talk about are the numbers that are within the tarot. Specifically for this video, I'm going to talk about the numbers 1 to 10 that we see in the minor arcana. Each specific number has its own meaning, its own message, and it will help us on our spiritual journey to understand what are our guides trying to tell us. Even now I giggle because I can hear the magpies and the birds outside my office just starting to sing, and it's like, thank you, Spirit. It's like, yay, here we are at the numbers. So let's start off with simple number 1. I say simple, but it's not so. Number 1 always will represent new beginnings, sense of leadership, independence, moving forward, and focusing on that success. In reverse, though, it's the complete opposite of those qualities. There's a level of selfishness, intolerance, a narrow-mindedness, and dominance. So when it comes to that 1 energy, it's like, are you leading or are you becoming quite selfish? Now, when it comes to number 1, it always represents like opening new doors. Your soul is focused on growing and evolving, and your spirit is asking you, what's the purpose of this? What is our intention? Let's move towards the right path. And of course, we see that throughout all of the aces in the tarot. Let's bring our attention to number 2. And so the 2 represents that balance, the co-creating, the harmony, consideration and service to others. And so if it comes in reverse, it's all of the opposite of those qualities, right? It's the blame, the pessimism, the hesitation, the making mistakes, the lack of responsibility. But when we think of the number 2 in its beautiful energy, it's about love. It's about that equal give and receive. Thinking about the 2 of Cups there, it's that beautiful give and receive, that energy being mirrored back to us. Believe it or not, the number 2 is a feminine number, and so it's time to tap into your intuition and trust. It's time to speak up and connect and have fun with those that are important to you. Number 3 is about communication, fun, joy, celebration, feeling social. It's a good card for those extroverts. In reverse, however, it's all of the opposite of that. The conflict, lack of stamina, lack of concentration, mood swings, not the nicest of energy to be around. But the good quality energy of number 3 is telling you that the divine guidance is coming your way, that your divine guidance, your team, your guides are going to bring forward a solution so that you can start to celebrate and feel excited of the multiple minds coming together, that creative, wonderful energy to create something that's really beautiful. Now let's bring our attention to number 4. Now 4 is my own personal life number, so it's a lesson that I've been learning time and time again. Number 4s are all about structure. Think about the table that needs 4 legs to be balanced, to be secure, to be organized, to be practical, to be useful. We need structure in our world. When we have a lack of structure, there's a sense of boredom, dullness, chaos, lack of control. It's a bit of a mess, right? But essentially, like number 4 here is telling us that it's essential to take action, to put the structure in place, that once this structure is here, we can raise our standards. Structure is all about boundaries and knowing what we want to receive and what's not okay in our world. Knowing what we want to, what's okay to take and what's okay to give. So it's that balance of boundaries. Let's go to number 5. And so 5 is all about choice. It's right there in the middle. So it's all about the choice, the experience, the progress, the adaptability, flexibility. In reverse, so it can represent resistance, conflict, complaining, lack of agreement, exhaustion. We see that reverse in the 5 of Wands. Now, the 5 of Wands is always going, the 5 of Wands, the number 5 is always going to tell us that you are one choice away from having a completely different life. Number 5 is telling us that happiness is a choice and that we need to put the effort in to create that. The choices that we make dictate the results that we're getting. Number 6 is a maternal energy. It's a nurturing, personal power, unconditional love kind of number. When we see the number 6, in my interpretation, it looks like that pregnant belly of a woman, and that's how I remember that number, that nurturing, giving, beautiful energy. In reverse, it can represent the unequal power, suppression, imbalance, lack of receiving, feeling drained. It's like that mum that's just giving without taking any time out. Now, this particular card is going, or number I should say, is telling us that maternal energy is some of the hardest energy to experience, and it's some of the greatest energy to master. That the maternal energy can heal us all, that it can heal our selfishness and to put everything else in perspective, to really understand what we're moving towards. I can hear my guides starting to talk, and they're like, yeah, but what about the 666? So from my higher self, I know that the 666 equals a level of choice between, is it the number of angels or is it the number of the devil, if you believe in that. So there's still choice in where are you putting your focus, the good, the evil, if you believe in all of that. So similar to that maternal nurturing energy, like, are you focused on the giving or are you focused on everybody taking and it's just turning to bedlam? Anyway, I digress. So number seven is a really highly regarded spiritual number. It's a number of that inner knowing, that inner refinement, the personal transformation, and it can also represent that masculine energy, where 6 was the feminine, the 7 can be the masculine, and it's the how do we spiritually evolve. Knowing that if we turn that card up in reverse, then the 7s will represent a level of manipulation, procrastination, self-sabotage, feeling confused, feeling betrayed. So the 7 is asking us to come back to that inner knowing, to have that spiritual experience within. Knowing that, if there's a combination of that inner knowing and that determination, it means that somebody is capable of manifesting anything that they desire. And so I would put number 7 as a number that represents manifesting. So number 8 represents abundance, clear direction, personal power, feeling valued, the upliftment energy. In reverse, number 8 represents feeling trapped, being obligated, the feeling misled, the effort, the hard work. It's completely opposite to the abundant sort of energy there, right? And so with number 8, it's asking us to have that self-confidence. It's asking us to radiate that self-trust and to have certainty that you're on the right path. Number 8 is asking us to bring in more of that abundant feeling so that the universe can reflect that back to us. We see that really clearly with the 8 of Pentacles, and it's just that radiance, abundant energy, self-mastery, and wanting more. If you're not growing, you're rotting. So it's like wanting more. It's part of being who we are. Now, number 9 in its good energy represents completion, kindness, the inner joy, the self-satisfaction, the fulfillment. We're nearly at the end of the numbers, and so it's like, wow, look how far we've come. In reverse, though, it can feel like being blocked, feeling pressured, feeling drained, feeling dread, feeling stifled. It's not the best number. But the number 9 is reminding us that it's time to use your talents and your knowledge to share with others everything that you've learned. That self-mastery, we're nearly there. And once you've been able to teach what you know, it'll be time for a new chapter, a new beginning, and you get to be the student again. And so let's complete things with the 10. You see the 10 within the tarot and the minor arcana. And the 10 represents an ability to trust yourself. 10 represents that, that hope, that virtue, that completion, that fulfillment. Very similar to number 9, but it's like, okay, I'm stepping through that door. In reverse, however, number 10 represents the doubt, uncertainty, fear, even resentment there. And so when that's showing up in reverse, when 10 is showing up in reverse, it's about questioning, what's holding yourself back. But let's put it in the upright position. What does number 10 represent in its beautiful form? And basically 10 is saying, you know, stop overthinking it, just do it. Step through that door, have confidence, have trust. When you break down the word confidence, it actually means with trust. Confidence with trust. And the ability to trust yourself means that you actually have to take a risk. If you've already done the thing, then you've got a level of certainty. But if it's a new thing in front of you, then you have to take a risk. You have to have trust in yourself. And most of that trust is to know that you'll be able to pick yourself up, that you won't hold yourself too heavily responsible if you don't meet that requirement of success. So confidence is a really interesting quality and an energy within our human experience. Many times clients come to me and it's like, I just want to be more confident. And what they're telling me is they want to trust themselves more. And that's what that number 10 is saying to us. You know, have that trust in yourself. You've been through all of the lessons. You've learned what you needed to, the positives and the reverse. And it's time to step through that door. So if you're doing a reading and you want to take notice of the number, you know, it's going to have its own message. If you're coming across like the number 4, you can very quickly tell your client there, you know, there's a need for structure in this moment. There's a need to implement your boundaries. There's a need to raise your standards so that you know what you want and versus what you don't want. I always consider boundaries to be, you know, as simple as, you know, I want the chocolate ice cream, but keep the strawberry muck away. And it's really knowing what you want and what you don't want, so people around you can help meet your boundaries too. So the numbers within the tarot, just enjoy seeing what comes up, play with the numbers, play with the energy, play with it in your readings. That's what they're there for. It's just another piece of information to help you and to help your client. I hope that helps, and I'll talk to you later.